Before we start this video, just wanted to explain that this person has written books about this. It's not just like me sitting there, going through everybody else's videos. This person's done the homework and written books. Anyway, let's continue with the video. Hi everyone, I came across this video last year sometime, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Me and Amy watched it because, well, this guy, I can't explain it. He has found a piece of the puzzle, really. He can't maybe sort everything out, but he's going to talk about autism and Asperger's, and I really like the way he's done it and how he's understood. Let's continue with a bit of his video. And I just hope he doesn't mind me copying it to show you, but please go over to his channel, watch the video there, sub to him, and he's obviously got other videos on his channel. But I really like the way he talks, because you might be a bit shocked about what he's going to say.
What's the difference between autism and Asperger's? The difference between may be so obvious it's staring us right in the face. If you or someone you know is on the spectrum and you'd like to understand them better, I have an explanation that for now you won't hear about anywhere else. If I'm right, the difference between autism and Asperger's may explain a lot about what causes it, and hopefully one day how we might better work with those who have it.
In a minute, he's going to explain that autism and Asperger's is not a genetical thing. It obviously doesn't actually, well, he doesn't say how the damage happens, and I suppose what I thought was that it was when maybe you were being born. We're going to watch the video, he's going to explain it. But how often do you see people smiling like this? But I suppose maybe it could be damage with drugs. Anyway, he's going to explain it. Let's continue.
I wanted to go ahead and put out a crystal clear explanation with visuals so that other people who may be more accepted by the scientific community might continue this line of research. Ready? Okay, we're coming up on the 80th anniversary of what we currently call autism. First officially recognized in the 1940s, this neurological disorder is affecting more children than ever. Many of you have probably been directly affected by it. Over time, 2 different sorts of autism have emerged: classic autism and what we call Asperger's syndrome. Many people think of Asperger's as autism light, a slightly less disruptive version. Deficient social cues, emotional connections, etc. There is overlap, of course, and everyone's different, but for those with Asperger's, there does seem to be something specifically different about it than those with the classic definition of autism.
This video should have come out on Sun and Moon, and this is all about electromagnetic fields around ourselves. So I think somehow this all ties in with the rest. Anyway, let's continue. I just thought, because after this video I thought of the guy with this video that we're doing now. So it's probably all linked.
I think this is because autism isn't genetic. It's the result of a brain injury, more specifically a brain stem injury. Don't go away. Give me 2 minutes and I'll prove it to you. The evidence is so obvious you can literally see it on someone's face. It's staring right at you. The brainstem is the little part of your brain that connects it to your spinal cord. It powers your sense of taste, smell, hearing, your ability to move your eyes and your face, among many other important things. My theory is that autism and the Asperger syndrome are often the result of injury to a particular side of the brainstem. They're asymmetrical. With autism, the left side of the brainstem is affected. With Asperger's, it's the right. That's the difference. Autism is a left side brainstem injury, and Asperger's is a right side issue.
In this video, he doesn't actually explain how you get the damage. Is this happening at birth when we're born, or is it something that's being put in us to cause the damage? Because we've had thalidomide children, and now we seem to have a lot of this, unless everybody has always been this way. A spectrum of something. I don't know, it's just very interesting, isn't it, to think that it's not genetic, it might not be what they're injecting, it might be done at birth. But in this, he hasn't got that far. But that's why I suggest you go over to his channel and watch more of his stuff. I think he's so interesting, and I'm so pleased that people like him think about things differently. Because when have you heard someone talking like this about autism? Of course, unless you've seen the video.
The left side of your brain is used for rational thought, language processing, science, and math. The right side of your brain is used for abstract thought, creativity, music, the arts, humor. When you have a problem on the left side of your brain, you won't be as good at linear, rational thinking, but you'll often excel in other things, the arts, creative things. If you have a right side problem, as is the case with Asperger's, your brain can be more fully used for scientific and mathematic thought. You will seem extremely smart. Your language processing will be incredible. The reason they call people with Asperger's little professors. But your social skills may suffer. You won't be able to pick up on social cues as well. Humor will be difficult for you. You probably won't be as artistic or creative as you'd like.
When you think about all this bit where we might be living in a simulation, what is it doing? Are they trying to change things in us, make us a certain way? What is it they're trying to do? Make like drones, robots nowadays? I don't know. It's just, yeah, I really like what he's saying, and such a good observation about what it is. He's going to show a bit more in a minute, and let's continue with the video.
When there's an injury on one side of the brainstem, it appears that the majority of your brain becomes available for the other side to use. So you become really good at one thing, but often not so good at the other. This is why you often see artistic prodigies with autism. Their entire brain is being used for right-brained activity because the left side of the brainstem is not functioning perfectly. They may not make for a good scientist or engineer, but their artistic skills are off the chart. This is often why you will see scientific and mathematic prodigies with Asperger's. They may not get your jokes, but they can perform amazing numerical calculations instantly.
Quite incredible that it's always staring you right in your face.
You can see it right on people's faces. Remember when I said that one of the things the brainstem does is control your facial muscles? If you have a problem with one side of your brainstem, it might cause one of your eyes to not point where it's supposed to go, or your smile not to be even. With autism, it's a left-sided brainstem issue. That means the left side of your face may show some weakness.
Sometimes it's really great when you come across people like him with this explanation. Who else has explained it to you like that? You know, and it's quite incredible, really, that so much is shown. It's almost as if your face has had a slight mini stroke, if you understand what I mean.
autism, you will see it. It's obvious. Sometimes they can only smile on the right side because the left is not working, or sometimes their left eye won't point exactly in the right direction. But over and over, you'll see pictures of people with autism, and you'll notice the left side of their face is weaker than the right. If that's correct, then you would expect to see the opposite with people with Asperger's, right? People with Asperger's have right-sided issues, so the right side of their face would show weakness. And incredibly, this is exactly what you see. All these pictures are of people who supposedly have Asperger's diagnosis. Over and over, you can see the weakness on the right side of their face. Sometimes it's their smile. Other times it's their right eye that's not pointed correctly. Either way, it's obvious that people with Asperger's have something going on with the right side of their brain. You can see it on their face. This is why they may be a little bit more socially awkward. This is why they may be really good at math or science, but not get your jokes. Other people who are musically and artistically inclined, like myself, smile like this. We tend to have weakness on the left side of our face, possibly because we have left side brain injury. Now you're probably thinking, he's not diagnosing himself with autism, is he? This is what's interesting. You've heard of people talk about the autism spectrum, being on the autism spectrum. You'll hear people say they're actually autistic because no one believes them. They sense that something's off, but it's not enough to qualify for a diagnosis. If autism and Asperger's aren't genetic, but are instead brainstem injuries, I think that explains why there's such a wide spectrum.
In this video, she talks quite a lot about empaths. So what does that mean? Empaths are more autistic? Would have to fit into that category then, wouldn't it? But again, I just find it so interesting. There are a range of us who are highly sensitive, and I see that as being an empath. So I wonder where that fits in the spectrum of things. That sounds more like the autistic side to the Asperger's side, but I don't know, I'm just saying.
Greta Thunberg, the climate activist, well, I think she's actually stated an Asperger's diagnosis. Right side facial weakness? Check. Just like we would expect. That's the smile of someone with Asperger's. Remember, if you have left side brain issues, your right, creative, artistic side is likely to be much stronger. This is why you'll often see so many artists and comedians with left side weakness.
And then on the other side, right, they're saying the right side of the brain is more feminine. So I suppose if you're a very sensitive man, it doesn't really go into today's society where you've got to be arrogant and ignorant most of the time and egotistical. I'm sure that very sensitive men struggle a little bit. But that's saying from the right side of the brain. I just thought I'd add that bit.
Another thing that is kind of fascinating, you remember hearing that the left side of your brain controls the right side of your body and vice versa? The right side of your brain controls the left side of your body? Remember that? Well, what's interesting is you can frequently guess whether someone is left-handed or not by looking at their face. If they have left side facial weakness, because of that crossover thing, they are likely to have right-sided body weakness. This means if you see someone with left-sided facial weakness, they will often be left-handed. It's the opposite of what you would think. Left side facial weakness means they'll likely be left-handed. Right-sided facial issues means they'll likely be right-handed. I am left-handed and I smile like this.
It seems once you get this stem damage, then specific things are going to happen and it's going to show whether it's left smile or right smile, autistic or Asperger's. Anyway, let's continue.
With musicians, actors, and comedians, The right side of their brain works best, and as a result, they're left-handed. Lady Gaga, left side issue perhaps? She's left-handed. Will Ferrell, left-sided facial weakness? Left-handed. Josh Jackson, see how his left eye wanders a bit? Left-handed. Ashley Jenkins, lazy eye on the left side, right brain dominant, and left-handed. Comedians, musicians, so many left-handed, which would indicate right brain dominance. People have always wondered why this is, and I think it explains it.
When you yourself look at photographs of people, you actually find that they've all got a stronger and weaker side of their face due to the lines on their faces. You can kind of see why their lips, but Brad Pitt doesn't half look like him, but even the girls. Whichever way, there's a stronger side to the mouth and a weaker side to the mouth, but I just don't understand how Madonna can go through all those changes and yeah, but anyway, even her, or him, whoever, they've got a stronger side and a weaker side to their mouths. It seems like everybody looks like that. He was saying he's going to talk about, or he's just talking about, it's like a 3 or 4 to 1 with women, so 4 men, 1 woman that have these things. But looking at the pictures, I just randomly pick those pictures and I see it's all of them.
Daniel Radcliffe, he has the smile of Asperger's, and I've heard him mention how socially awkward he often feels. We'd expect him to be right-handed, and he is. Rupert Grint has the right side weakness smile, and he's right-handed. But Matthew Lewis, who played Neville Longbottom, has the left side weakness smile, and he, like we would expect, is left-handed. To be clear, I'm not diagnosing anyone with anything, but the pattern is obvious. Many with autism smile like this. Many with Asperger's smile like this. Not always, but very often. Autism appears to be issues with the left side of your brain. Asperger's appears to be issues with the right. You can see it in their behaviors and proficiencies. You can often see it on their face. One more thing, in case you're still doubting my theory. If you don't know this already, autism and Asperger's are far more prevalent in boys, 3 or 4 to 1.
Obviously, he's written books and he's obviously going to explain a lot more on his channel. But I really like the way that he explains this. And when you go out now, you'll suddenly realise people are smiling to the left or to the right. You'll see it. That's quite crazy, isn't it? But, you know, both sides of our face aren't exactly the same either. But the information that he's given, it's just brilliant, because it kind of all ties in, doesn't it? Anyway, let's continue.
If you look around and start seeing crooked smiles or misaligned eyes, you will immediately notice something. It's mostly males. There are very few girls with crooked smiles. In fact, there are about 3 or 4 males with crooked smiles for every 1 female. Don't trust me, look for it, count them yourself. You'll see that I'm right. Why is that? Why is the ratio of crooked smiles and misaligned eyes by gender the same as it is with autism? The spectrum is much wider than we realize. That's why. Some people get a tiny amount of damage that doesn't cause language issues or sensory processing disorders or intestinal issues. Unfortunately, others do.
If this is happening more in men than women, why do the women have it as well? Let's continue.
One last thing I almost forgot about, actually. Autism versus Asperger's. Remember, this is autism, left side brain injury, and this is Asperger's, right side brain injury. Did you know there are about 8 or 9 cases of autism for every 1 or 2 cases of Asperger's? And as you start to notice crooked faces, you'll notice a pattern. Most smiles are crooked like this, left side weakness. In fact, about 8 or 9 are right side high, left side low. The other 1 or 2 are the opposite, left side high, right side low. The same ratio as autism to Asperger's. Don't believe me? Look for yourself. Catalog them. You will notice far more males with crooked smiles, and you will notice far more smiles like this, the smile of autism, than this, the smile of Asperger's. The ratio of males to females and autism to Asperger's is the same, even just by looking at people's faces. Amazing.
Here are a couple, well, one of his books. There you go, Man-Made Disease Explained. Incredible. Really like what he says. It's kind of obvious, isn't it, once you realise. And, you know, all that money they've spent on hospitals and everything like that, and all these cures, and this person has found a different way of explaining it. I don't think it would have cost him as much as the hospitals are charging. So I really like the way he explains it, and he'll finish the video off.
It's a fascinating subject, and I'm only touching the surface of it, but I cover it completely in a book I wrote called Crooked, Man-Made Disease Explained. It covers this and many other autoimmune issues and how many of them tie together. Obviously, there are other things at play, gut issues, sensory processing, etc., that I haven't talked about in this short video, but regardless, I hope this might help you understand what's going on with you or someone you love. I have several other books that tell the true stories about polio and autism, and trust me, they're probably not what you've been told. The truth is much different than you hear on television. The books are available on Amazon currently and through my personal website at forrestmoretti.com. I hope they may give you some insight into understanding things a bit better. Thank you for listening.